suggested that perhaps Michelle Obama or Hillary Clinton could do something for your cause in Israel. Earlier this week, we heard one of the lecturers tell us that during the administration of John F. Kennedy, when the Saudis wanted to buy weapons, he sent representatives to the State Department and said, you've got to do something for the emancipation of women in Saudi Arabia. What would you think if the government of the United States had a policy which said to the government of Israel, no emancipation of women, no weapons?
That's a hard one because I will be seen as a traitor to Israelis if I am the one instigating that. Because when it comes to our physical survival, Israelis are extremely, and rightfully so, anxious. We are the most anxious people in the world. I don't know if you're aware of it, but a recent study shows that Israelis, I'm talking third generation from the Holocaust, think of the Shoah every day. Think of the Holocaust every day. They think about it when they're crowded in an elevator. They think about it when their feet or hands are cold. They think about it when a kid is incessantly asking for a drink or food and there's not some available. They think about it when they hear the German language. They think about it when the train's coming and going. Every day they have some thought of the Shoah. So if the Americans would say, and in the mouth of Yvette Lieberman, our foreign minister, it would be, she is causing us to be less secure because of that whim at the wall. This will be an incitement that I would lose so much from, that it's too much. That's a nuclear weapon for us. I wouldn't want that. But I certainly would like Hillary Clinton to talk to Netanyahu and say to him, this is ridiculous. All they want is 1 hour a month. You can't figure out a way in the holiest place for the Jewish people for 1 hour a month. You don't seem, it's not in cahoots with the rest of what Israel is doing. We need to call them on that. You see, there's no nuisance. We have not been of any nuisance to them. Only the Orthodox. A political figure in Israel knows what he'll pay if he doesn't vote the Orthodox way. But there's never a penalty for not voting the pluralist way. And that's what I'm looking for. But your question is profound. Biggie.
Thank you.
Thanks.
In the introduction, it was indicated that after your military service, you went on and did graduate work. And as I understand it, men, women, all Israelis are expected to have a term of military service. What then is the military position, the establishment? Where are they in issues of full rights and materials in the state of Israel when all are expected to be in service?
It's wonderful. We always go to one of our Supreme Court petitions. We were in court with a young woman called Alice Miller. Alice Miller came from South Africa with a BA in aeronautics, and she wanted to join the Israeli Air Force and be one of the best pilots of the world. And she wasn't allowed even to apply. And we went, Miller versus the State of Israel is one of the landmark cases of Israel. The reason the Army gave, for not the Army, I mean the Air Force gave, not to allow her into combat were, you know the reasons. What are the reasons? She will get raped if she gets caught by the enemy. She's emotional, she's hysterical, good. Physical strength, she doesn't have enough physical strength. She might get raped, we said already. Okay, so we dealt with these things. The first, we talked about physical fitness. It turns out that physical fitness is not just lung and heart, it's also agility, coordination, and balance. And it turns out when it comes to pilots, these particular issues of physical fitness are even more important. So she has an innate plus over her male counterparts. When it came to rape, we showed that the numbers prove that she is more likely, not that rape is prevalent in the Israeli army, it's very rare, but being caught by the enemy is even more rare. So she is more likely to be raped by someone in her own base, by her own Jewish officer, than by the enemy, because these are very, very rare occasions. And as to hysteria, we showed that women are no more hysterical than men in a variety of situations. And then it looked like the court is focusing on her uterus. What will happen to her uterus at 2G? What if she wants to have a baby? What if she has twins? What? And at one point, her boyfriend says to her, "We didn't talk about this damn thing so much." And she said to us, "Tell the court that I'm willing to sacrifice everything, the whole body." Have they ever discussed the right testy or the left eye of any Israeli soldier? Why are they discussing my uterus? And I was thinking that the uterus, her Jewish uterus, it needs the patron, it's a natural resource, a national resource, if you will, that needs the patronage of the court, needs the patronage of the army. Anyway, we won a five judges unanimous opinion. Alice Miller opened the way to all women to come to combat. We have 21 combat pilots now. She is not one of them. She failed after 6 weeks for social incompatibility, but 21 women pilots, and we have also women in the submarines and women. But 88% of women in the Army are clerks, and their feelings of self-worth takes a big dump during their Army service. They serve only 20 months. 50% of Israeli youth do not go to the Army, because in this 50% I include all the Arab youth that don't go to the Army, and the ultra-Orthodox that don't go to the Army, and all the people who have mental unfitness to the Army. So it stopped being the big melting pot that it used to be. But the good news is that 3 weeks ago, the first Israeli woman general made it to the Chiefs of Staff. Her name is Yudit Barbibai. It's high time, but we have a general. And the story goes that when she was asked by her 3 peers, "What will you do with your 11-year-old at home when you become a general?" she said, "I'll put her up to adoption like you did with your kids."
Those in the audience who know me will probably be surprised to hear me say that I agreed with everything that you said. But I have a couple of questions. One, would you talk about the fact that the problems that you talk about are mainly confined to Jerusalem? I'm not saying that they're not elsewhere, but mainly Jerusalem. That's number one. And number two, discuss, please, the fact that the problems that exist are because of the type of government that exists in Israel. It's not the kind of government we have. It's a parliamentary government. And in Israel, as usual among Jews, there are many parties. And in order to form a government, they need to have a coalition. And the coalition always requires a religious party. And therefore, the religious parties have power. And this is one of the reasons, I think, why this goes on. Would you comment on that?
Yes, please? So thank you for agreeing. That's nice and refreshing. It's not, first, Jerusalem is the largest city in Israel. It's 10% of Israel's population. So Jerusalem in and of itself is a biggie. But this is true for Arad, Bnei Brak, Tzfat, Tveria. I could name 23 other towns where segregation in the public sphere, Ramat Bet Shemesh, right next to Jerusalem, if we don't put a stop to the segregation, this is not going to be a 50-page report, it's going to be a 500-page report. So it's not just Jerusalem. And as for our many-party systems, Jews have always had a core of argumentativeness in them. In fact, we never had a pope. We would never agree on who it would be. And we are also, the first Jewish act that the first Jew does is argue with God over how many just people can be in Sodom. 50, 40, 30, like a used car salesman. He argues, then he says, the judge of the whole world is not going to be just. What kind of a God are you? argue